Shalom, it's me, Baht Of Zion, and today I'm going to touch on two topics, okay, that most Israelites don't want to touch on, and that's going to be poverty of the mind, not the wallet, and of course, poor parenting. So, in this Real Talk podcast, we're going to be speaking truth, okay, the only way that Yah ordered us to do it. All right, some adults are not broke in money. They are broke in mindset. The poverty is very much internal. Y14, count me in. All right, Israelite community, please take note that some of your actions for some of you didn't come out of nowhere. By far, they did not. Kind, be kind. They came out of how you think, how you value restraint, and whether or not you fear the Most High, Yahweh. Sexual addiction is not freedom. It's slavery. Torah never treats sexual chaos as grown or adult business. It calls it lack of discipline. In Leviticus chapter 19, verse 2, it states, "Speak to the whole Israelite community and say to them, you shall be holy, for I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am holy." Now, family, please note that holiness definitely requires control, not impulse. Kind. When sex becomes a weapon to make someone mad, a scorecard for ego, or monetary release, such as just busting a nut. Kind. You are not operating in power. Nope. You are operating in bondage. Kind. Because now you're introducing life, which is a Yaladim, into a world as an adult that you were not equipped to take care of them or shelter them in, due to your lack of mental maturity and wisdom. According to Proverbs chapter 25, verse 8, it states, "You're like an open city without walls, is a man whose temper is uncurbed." So, family, having no walls, no protection, shows that anything can attach to you. Anything can defeat you spiritually. Anything can take you down physically. Which equals you having no future vision. So, you have to be mindful that children are not accidents. They are very much witnesses according to the Torah. Children are a heritage, not a side effect. Let's go ahead and go to Psalms 127, verse 3. Sons are the provision of Yahweh, the fruit of the womb, his reward. All right now, family, if we know that our wisdom introduces this to us, then why is it that we have some people who keep producing lives with people they barely know, barely trust, and they barely respect? Then they get mad later on in life. And I'm going to tell you what they really mad at, okay? They're mad at the other parent for not being a parent that you envisioned them to be. But did it ever dawn on you that when you met them in the club, in Walmart, at that oil change center, wherever, that they never actually showed you parental attributes? And if they did, because they had their own child with them, would you or would you not think that some people might be just putting on for their city. You know, like Jeezy say, just to reel you in. Bait and hook. Also, you could be mad at the system because now you're paying child support to a child whom you barely get a chance to see based off of their minimum silica communication that you have with the other parent whom you barely know. Okay? All right. Now you're mad at the fact that you're struggling. You're struggling not because you have to work one job. You're struggling because you have to work two to be able to provide double the income for the Yaladim that you brought into this world based off of the simple fact that the other parent who you met at that Walmart, that convenience store, that oil change place, wherever, they honestly didn't have a job. They were just balling off the budget that they acquired in their account to make it look like they were able to sustain themselves in that pre-Yaladim that they had, but not you actually understanding that they already had the other parent on child support, and you just added yourself to the equation. Because why? You really didn't get a chance to know them. Now, furthermore, you are mad at the outcome. Why, Baht of Zion, would they be mad at the outcome? Because now you don't have that house with that white picket fence. You don't have Lassie running around in the yard protecting all your vehicles in front of that 3-door garage now, do you? No, you do not. Sorry, but let's continue to Job chapter 4, verse 8. As I have seen those who plow evil and sow mischief reap them. Now, family, if you don't get that, you gonna get this. Hosea chapter 8, verse 7. They sow wind, and they shall reap whirlwind, standing stalks devoid ears, and yielding no flower. If they yield any, strangers shall devour it. Woo! All right now, family, with those two precepts, it's pretty much stating to you that you are planting impulse, okay? IMPULSE. And guess what you harvested? Consequences. Oh, buddy. That didn't sound too good. Now that you say it out loud and think about it. Okay. So, let's continue. Responsibility is Torah maturity. Big kind. Big kind. All right. Torah doesn't coddle grown people. Y'all know Torah don't coddle grown people, because if it did, half of y'all would daggone straighten up by now. But since y'all can't straighten up by now because y'all feelings hurt, y'all decide to go outside the Torah and go to other things where you shouldn't be. But that's another topic for another day, because why? I ain't got time. Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 20. The person who sins, he alone shall die. Okay. A child shall not share the burden of a parent's guilt. Nope. Nor shall a parent share the burden of a child's guilt. Nope. The righteousness of the righteous shall be accounted to him alone, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be accounted to him alone. Okay, so just when I was sitting out there talking about some JC die for my sin, or the shy man die for my sin, or your washer die for my sin. No, he didn't. Okay. Add that to your Deuteronomy. But let's continue. You can't keep blaming trauma, okay, on how your parents struggled while raising you and y'all turned out fine. You can't do that, family. Why would you want to raise up your own Yaladim within the same trauma that you experienced throughout your childhood to raise them up in? Ain't you supposed to be giving your child another better option of being raised, a better future of wanting to obtain something, better driven mindset and life term long goals that you didn't have for yourself, right? Not due to the inability of your parent knowing how to raise you up, not because of that, but because you simply should know right from wrong as a parent. Your child shouldn't have to be out here getting it out the mud at the age of 6. Your child shouldn't be having to do that, okay? Your child shouldn't be talking about starting from the bottom, now I hear, but you're still in the same position, okay? No, want better for your Yaladim. That's what you're supposed to be doing. All right, next thing, temptation, because her body look good or because you think he packing what he may or may not be packing inside his jeans is not how you sit there and determine the next parental figure for your Yaladim. That's not how you do it, okay? It's too many big booties and smiles around here leading people down in the jail cells, okay? It's too many men packing and stuff right here leading women into them having financial debts, okay? It's too much stuff going around. You have to use your wisdom to make better choices for your future Yaladim whenever you're considering a parent, okay? Honestly, that's how it has to go. Now, loneliness, okay? You shouldn't be too daggone lonely where you sit here and choose any type of person, anything, whatever makes you happy, whatever tell you smell good. You should not be choosing them because that's what they told you for an emotional connection because you're tired of coming home by yourself. You're tired of nobody greeting you at the door. If you that tired, go get you a cat. Okay, cats, they like to see you when you come home. They walk around, put the trail all around your leg and stuff and meow meow. They do all that. Rub on the cat. Rub the cat head, or if you like a dog, you want something big, a big husky dog or something like that, get you a pit bull. He always gonna sit there and look at you like you ain't fed him since you've been gone, which you really haven't, but yet he's eager and waiting for you to come home and feed him. You don't need no person sitting up in your daggone house because you are emotionally sad and you going through something and you want somebody just to sit there and be around you to tell you all this, that, and the third and ask you about your day that they really don't care about. You don't need that because the only thing you doing, if you don't know that person, you inviting their familiar spirits to bond with your trauma. Okay? That's what you're doing. Stop doing it. Now, the last thing I'm going to say about this topic right here is going to be the whole concept of that's just how men are. That's just how women are. Do you not know when you are sitting there in one of those states where, dang, I just want to poke on this one, and poke on that one, and then they turn around and they go do something, and you think that you put it on them that good and made them stay like that with you and stuff like that, and then they done got it from somebody else, and now you over there looking at why the hell they ain't pick up their phone whenever you call them, but why the hell they ain't calling you the way that they should have been calling you before you gave it up to them. Do you not know you can't say that's just how they are? You can't say that because technically, friend, you don't know how they are. You honestly don't because you didn't take the time to find out. The only thing you did was take the time to offer that drink for them so you get them to your hotel room. That's the only thing you did. And then they took the time to drink the drink and not tell you about themselves. But all right, I'm going to tell you what Torah tells you about yourself. Torah tells you that you are supposed to rule yourself. And that definitely includes sexual appetite as well. All right.
Shalom, it's me, Baht Of Zion, and I'm here to let you know that we have everything that you need in Y4T, the Royal Apparel's clothing store, but not just clothes. We have mugs, cups, onesies for the Yaladim, as well as hats, fitted hats, All right, family. So definitely check in with Y4T, the Royal Family Apparel, only on Teesprings. Be kind. Check the description box for the link, or just use the QR code on the screen. Shalom, Berkah.
All right. Now, poverty of the mind, it creates poverty of life. Woo! Wait, if I ain't tell you a daggone headline title that good, boy, you better take notes and go write this down. Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people is destroyed because of your disobedience, because you have rejected obedience. I reject you as my priest because you have spurned the teaching of your Elohim. I, in turn, will spurn your children. Now, Yah didn't say he was going to spurn you because of lack of money. Nope. He didn't say he was going to spurn you because of lack of opportunity. Nope. Yah said he was going to spurn you because of lack of discipline, lack of truth within you, lack of self-governance over your own flesh that you currently inhabit. Now, when you refuse to govern yourself, guess what you're doing? You are causing your children to suffer. Because once again, you out here getting hot and bothered in your John or in your little sack twat, right? And now you over here creating and producing Yaladim out of the filth that you're allowing your mind to be exposed to and to tangle with like this, right? Now, you think that you're producing children out of righteousness, but honestly, if you're producing children out of sin, what are you making? You're making children. These children are only going to have the appetite and the knowledge of the sin that they were created from. And the reason I am saying that is because two wicked parents, what you think they're going to teach that child? It ain't going to be no righteousness. Okay, just so you know. All right, now, when you also refuse to govern yourself, your legacy fractures. When you also refuse to govern yourself, your peace disappears. Okay? Because now you won't have a child running around on hell. Okay? All right. And guess what? Torah says that the blood is on your hands. The blood is not on the person that you slept with hands. Okay? No. The blood ain't on your parents who told you go out there and just do what you want to do because you grown hands. No, it's on your hands. And guess what we got for that? Adult consequences for child excuses. Okay? All right. You ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. Now, the truth nobody wants to say, family, is very much this. Let me clear my throat. Some parents are poor in discipline. Okay, not money, discipline. They're poor in discipline. All right, now, if you consistently hear a parent say and tell their child, he's grown, she's grown, while they're under the age of 18, which is still considered a child, right? But they're under the age of 18, right? The moment consequences show up, such as pregnancy, responsibility, and accountability, suddenly the same parent says, don't bring that baby to me. That's not wisdom. No, that's actually double-mindedness, okay? Torah never calls a minor grown because they can have sex. They talk reckless. They're rebellious. And because they look mature. Some of y'all Yaladim is out here 14 years old looking like y'all is in y'all 20s. Okay, bodies full and grown and stuff like that. That goes for both the boys and the girls. Okay, some of you daggone boys got that the whole facial hair all up on your head, looking you like you about 20 something. Okay, all right. Now Proverbs 22 verse 6, it does tell you this: to train a child in the way he should go, he will not swerve from it, even in old age. Now, if you are a parent who has a lack of discipline, lack of authority over your child who is very much under the age of 18, and you telling them they grown, you treat them like they grown, what you expect them to do? They're going to go out there and make some grown decisions. And then once you decide to be a grown adult and come into your grown adulthood that you should have already had and try to discipline that grown child who is very much still under 18, do you not know they're going to be hitting you with some grown fists? Those are called grown consequences. All right now. So training means guidance, correction, and boundaries. Not surrender. Should no adult be sitting here surrendering to no teenager? I don't care what you say. Calling a child grown while refusing to train them is parental laziness dressed as freedom. You cannot declare adulthood and deny responsibility. I'm here to tell you that to your face on this podcast. You can't do that. No, the Torah contradicts what some of you parents' thought process is, and I'm very much serious, okay? Very much serious when it comes to the Yaladim. If the child is grown enough to date as a grown person, engage in sex as a grown person, make life-altering decisions as a grown person, then why are they suddenly not grown when a baby arrives? Torah does not allow selective maturity. Let me say it again for all you in the back. You ready? Torah does not allow selective maturity. You know, is that old saying, children having children is a failure of headship. Oh my goodness. So a household that does not have a Torah foundation, a household that does not have Yahweh as its anchor, a household that is ran by a wicked Ima or a wicked Abba who does not have no type of structure in their life because they were not raised up on structure themselves, is a household that will fail, a household that will allow their Yaladim to dress half naked, like you see some of these out here right now, a household that will allow you to date with grown adults at the age of 14, talking to somebody who's in their 30 or 40, and a grown adult who is actually the adult, the parent, right? They will allow you to do those things and think it is okay. Why? Because this is something that they are accustomed to, and this is the only way that they can see that you're gonna make it out of the hood, the same hood that you should have never been in the first place if you would have had your common sense to tell your little desires within your body that, oh, I'm getting hot because I'm looking at that butt, or oh, I'm getting hot because I want to see what's behind that print. Oh, if you had self-control over yourself, do you or do you not know you would have went ahead and pre-planned your life out, not to sit there and have children under the age of 18. Okay? And say that it's all good and you did it, your child can do it too. Okay? Now, this ain't got nothing to do with the ones or those who have been raped. This ain't got nothing to do with that at all, Silica. What this has to do with is the parents who treat their children like they're 18 when they're very much not 18, and tell them that it's okay until that child comes to the doorstep. Okay? That's what this content is for, all right? Because we all should know right now, an arrow with no direction doesn't hit a target. It becomes a danger. A danger to everybody, a danger to itself, a danger to the community, okay, as a whole. So parents who say the child is grown, that's on them. No, baby. No, baby, it's not. It's not. While still housing that child, still feeding that child, and still claiming authority over that child, you as the parent, it is still on you. And guess what? That grandbaby is still your responsibility. Okay? Torah is not about confusion. You are. Okay? Okay. And when you allow yourself to be confused by the rules that you don't have within your house pertaining to that Yaladim, then guess what? You are not honoring Yahweh. You're actually honoring Hashatan. Okay? You're honoring Hashatan because the Torah very much tells you that your child should not be given into harlotry. Your child should not be put in a marriage where your child is not a virgin. Okay? Your child is supposed to be a virgin whenever they go into marriage. Okay? The moment that you allow your child to go and spend nights and stuff with other little teenagers that they may be dating at that time, and they slip up and find themselves in those adult situations and stuff, having those adult acts and things like that, that's the moment that you allow your child to be introduced to harlotry. Okay? And you can't say, oh, but two parents made this child. If you are the parent who is having the child once again in their household, and you allow your child to go stay a night at their boyfriend house, or you allow your child to go stay a night at their girlfriend house, and they wind up making babies or becoming pregnant, do you not know, once again, that household headship, leadership, all falls on you from your poor parenting? And also it shows the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Okay? You can't tell the chicken that producing the eggs is good for the eating if you don't want the chicken to go out here and mate to produce the eggs for the plenty. You can't do that. No. And then you can't be mad at nobody but yourself, baby. You can't. Because you knew better. You very well did. You felt the warning. Whenever your child come up to you, my child no not, but whenever your child come up to you and say, Emma, can I go stay at my boyfriend's house? Knowing that your child is under the age of 18, they're probably 16 or whatever, 15, 14, whatever. Can I go stay at my Emma house? Or they come up to you talking about, Abba, can I go stay at my girlfriend house? Can I do that? It's going to be something in a real parent, okay? Let me go ahead and get that across. It's going to be something in a real parent, a parent who actually has morals, ethics, and things about themselves. It's going to be a feeling within them that's going to be pulling on you and be like, no, get away from me. And then also, if you're running your house right, your Yaladim should not even come and ask you a question like that. Like, seriously, they shouldn't, right? Only way you're going to get asked a question like that is if you're not disciplining and if you're not showing your Yaladim that they should not even be coming up to you about stuff like that. If you're not having ground-rooted instructions, guidelines, lines, boundaries within your home to govern not just yourself, but govern your children, there shouldn't be no reason why your child should be coming up to you asking you stupid mess like that. Unless they seen where you didn't govern yourself, and allowed yourself to submit to any and everything that you thought looked good that may have attracted itself to you, but not realizing that attraction was just for that moment, and you were not wise enough within your wisdom to push that away from you in front of your Yaladim. Okay? Or it could be one of those traits where you fail weak to your flesh, produce the same Yaladim, right? And you didn't train them up in the way that they should go. You know what I'm saying? And now that Yaladim has that same little thing that you struggled with within them because they operate off of your DNA too, right? So when they have that urge in them and they want to go and be grown and stuff, they come to you with those questions. You got to check yourself, okay? You have to check yourself. And when I say check yourself, you're checking yourself directly as well as checking yourself within that minor, okay? Because that minor is a reflection of you. All right? Now, Torah definitely doesn't shame. It exposes, okay? All right? So you can repent, you can realign, and you can rise. As we know in Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19, it teaches us to choose life so that we can rise, right? It says teaches us to choose life for ourselves so it may go good for ourselves and for our Yaladim, right? Right. So sex without discipline is definitely death to the vision, okay? Because Yah never told you to have sex before a union. Yah never told you to tell a child that they are grown and can go out here and do adult stuff and treat them as an adult. Yah never told you that. Okay? Yah never told you to stay yourself in a situation where you know your environment or what you grew up in was not the best outcome for your adulthood, and for you to not go and try to implement the same thing into your children. Yah never told you not to do that. Okay? He told you do better. The Torah is all about you doing better because it reconstructs you, right? If you actually read and if you actually believe in the Most High Yahweh, whom you should be serving. Truth without accountability is falsehood, just so y'all know. Adulthood without self-control is very much immaturity, okay? Just because you grown don't mean you able to do grown people stuff, okay? Because your mind ain't yet grew with your ruach, okay? All right now, and a child with no limitations is a child with no direction, and that child's direction is very much lost, okay? And Zion doesn't move like that, okay? We're supposed to be holy, supposed to be set apart until the Most High Yah. Act the part. And don't just act it, prove it in everything that you do every single day. Prove it with how you choose to present yourself to the next Yaladim's parent that you would like to conceive, if that's what you want to do. Put yourself in a better headspace in wisdom so that you can attract the people whom you're supposed to attract to you based off of how you present yourself and what you know about yourself through your Torah, right? And then if the wicked decide to come to you, right, and they want to attach themselves to you, you'll have the wisdom to know how to push them away from you or run away from you, one or the other. All right, that's all I wanted to say. So please stop telling your children that they're grown when they're not. Please make better decisions as an adult when it comes to laying down with people and conceiving. Shalom, Barakai.